Some mysteries begin with a scream, others begin with a body. But this case began with something far more unsettling: a child's laughter. Every night, at exactly 9:13 p.m., the residents of Maple Street heard the same sound: a little girl laughing somewhere in the darkness. No one knew where it came from. No one ever found the child, until one phone call changed everything. Detective Adrian Cole was assigned to the case. Margaret Hayes had barely slept in weeks. Every night, she heard 3 slow knocks at her front door. 3 slow knocks. When she opened it, no one was there. But Margaret insisted she had seen a little girl, barefoot, wearing an old white dress. She had recorded everything. A small figure appeared at the end of the sidewalk. Step by step, she walked toward the front porch. Then, just as she reached the front door, the recording dissolved into static. Seconds later, the picture returned. Adrian replayed the recording again and again. The cameras were functioning perfectly. That night, Adrian decided to stay. At exactly 9:13 p.m., the laughter returned. Then came 3 slow knocks. Adrian rushed outside immediately. There was no child, only a trail of tiny wet footprints. The footprints continued into the house. Adrian followed them carefully. They passed the staircase. Then, they stopped. There were no return footprints, no hidden doorway, no open window, nothing. Then Adrian noticed an old family photograph. Behind Margaret and her husband stood a little girl. Margaret stared at the picture. Her face slowly turned pale. "I've lived in this house for 30 years. I've never seen that little girl before." The next morning, Adrian began searching for the girl's identity. Every clue pointed back to the same mysterious child. Experts examined the photograph for signs of manipulation. The conclusion was unanimous: the photograph had never been altered. Adrian questioned every family on Maple Street. Then, she appeared again. Different families, different years, the same little girl, always watching. No one remembered seeing her. Birth records, school files, hospital documents, nothing. It was as if someone had erased the child from history. The investigation led Adrian to a retired physician, Dr. Samuel Pierce. At first, the old doctor denied knowing anything. Then Adrian showed him the photograph. The doctor's face turned pale. "You should leave this alone. Some memories survive, even when people are forced to forget them." That evening, Adrian searched the town archives. One damaged newspaper caught his attention. The headline remained, but the child's name had been torn away. Then, something unexpected fell from between the pages. The map pointed to a single location at the end of Maple Street. The location was nothing more than an abandoned field, but old blueprints revealed something hidden beneath the ground. Adrian ordered an excavation. Hours later, they found a rusted steel hatch. The lock had remained sealed for decades. Adrian descended into the darkness. The shelter looked as though time had simply stopped. Children had once lived here. Then Adrian noticed something covering the walls. Inside the cabinet, one object had survived untouched. A frightened child's voice filled the silent shelter. The recording confirmed what someone had tried to erase forever. Powerful officials had buried the truth. Adrian released every document to the public. The forgotten children were finally remembered. Emily appeared one last time. "Thank you for remembering me." Then, she disappeared forever. But as Adrian left his office that night, another forgotten child appeared on the security camera. Another story, waiting to be told. If this story kept you watching until the very end, don't let the next remain hidden. Subscribe now and join us as we uncover more forgotten mysteries, unsolved cases, and chilling secrets. See you in the next video.